Alright, boys, in today's video, I'm going to be covering the new Tower of God characters that just dropped on Global. I'm going to tell you which one's the best. I'm also going to go over the kit very quickly. Obviously, it just makes sense. And maybe if you don't know what they do exactly, then there you go. Now you can come here. Maybe you'll learn something. But yeah, mainly just going to talk about who I think is better than the other one and why I think so. And again, as of my alert tier list, I think I'm going to be obviously right, but misunderstood, or, you know, people who don't see the light the way I do. Or like don't value stuff the way I do, whatever. Anyway, let's start with the main character, Bomb Viol. By the way, I think all of them are at least okay, and I don't think they're worth something for. None of them do anything that is like going to allow you to do new things or change the way you play. So I don't think they're worth it. Okay, unless if you're a Tower of God fan, you're gonna ignore my opinion anyway. If you're a whale, you're gonna ignore my opinion anyway. If you're a dolphin, you're probably gonna throw some multis anyway. And everyone gets 4 free multis. If you pull one, there you go, bro. Boom. Anyway. So, as far as start with Bomb / Viol, right, the main character, what he does is he gets his buff that for 2 turns, everyone on the team gets 20%, takes 20% less damage and does 20% more damage, right? Very whatever. He also only works in PvE, so no PvP, and also no Demonic Beast battle, which is very sad. But he works in Demon King, so I guess he has some point in like some difficult content, right? It works, and that like 20% damage reduction, 20% damage dealt is whatever, right? But after those 2 turns, what happens is he ranks up all his skills, and he gives all allies 20% basic stats. Now this 20% basic stat increase is not a blue buff; it just goes straight to the stats, right? Like the way like Green Gother, Halloween Gother, like he just increases the attack rate stats. He doesn't actually like give you a buff or something that like stacks. It's just like that. The same way it works the same way. So you just get the 20% basic stats, they just get increased. Very, very good, by the way. Because if it was a buff, it wouldn't stack with other buffs that increase basic stats, right? And the stronger one would override the weaker one. But this way it stacks. So he gets 20% on this, and then he has the Red Arthur buff card that on rank 3 gets 30%, which you can like sort of reliably get because of his rank up, you know. The way you play him, you usually like potentially get a rank 3. Especially with the characters you will pair him with. They might get a rank 3 on their own buff card. Kizuna. Anyway, so he's good. He's good. Okay. This part's good. Now, one good thing as well is, well, the one really good thing is he has the Red Lane passive. It's just worded differently for no reason, but it's the Red Lane passive. In PvE, again, no Demonic Beast spell, no PvP. All buffs on your allies get amplified by 1.5 times, so they're 50% more effective. Okay, so if you got a 30% basic stat buff, it'll be a 45% basic stat buff, right? And just him by himself, not very impressive, okay? Because he doesn't increase this. It has to be an actual buff on you. It has to be a blue buff, okay? So his passive 20% basic stat increase doesn't work. But his buff one does, okay? So this will be 45. Now this is not that crazy by himself. The reason why he's crazy is because Netmarble has been creating this like red human PvE team. That only works in PvE, not in the Demonic Beast battle and everything, right? Only works in PvE, right? And it's him, it's Eris, and it's Kizuna. Where is she? There she is, right? They all have these PvE only insane buffs, right? Well, she's not restricted to red humans. She's the one that's restricted to red humans, but her buff is like the most insane. So like that's why, you know, they're also red and humans. That's why they definitely planned this. And then this guy too, right? This guy works with Eris. Like these 4 together. I mean, if you haven't seen my video, 150,000 attack. 150,000 attack, not 50k attack, 80k attack, you know, something crazy, right? Some deer stats, like buff of all sorts. 150k attack with all sorts of related stats too. I'm just saying. Anyway, so they've been building this team. So by himself, he's not that good. All right, so if you pull him and people tell you, yo, he's crazy and everything, no, not really. He's only good if you have these other characters. By himself, he's okay. Like he'll do something for you, right? But he's not. Nothing like noteworthy, nothing crazy, right? So, wouldn't necessarily say, oh my god, he's crazy. So I would put him as the worst, because although not like bad, like if you use him in Demon King, use him with the right team and everything, he is really good. That's practically the only thing you can use him for. And there's like 5 other teams you can use for Demon King anyway, right? More, to be fair, but like 5 different teams with different variations you can use. It's not like he's needed or something, right? If you couldn't beat Demon King before, then maybe he helps you. If you have Eris and Kizuna as well, like you do need them. You can maybe make a team with like him and Mikasa and stuff, and like try and like this. But like for the most part, you'd want all the boys. So although I actually really like him, and he's really fun to use in Demon King, and that's the only event you can use him in. And Final Boss, I suppose, Guild Boss, right? But I feel like those matter less. Although there might be, people might do like Guild Boss stuff with him now. I don't know. Anyway, but overall, not the craziest like impact on the game or anything, right? Like he's cool for what he does, right? You can do some fun things, but overall, he's not something crazy. So I would put him as worse. Okay, now obviously next up it's between Zahad and Yuri. Now the thing is, between these two, it's really hard to pick who's better. Okay, and I know the community, because of certain people and just in general, like how things played out and the way he performs, right? Genuinely just the way he performs. People will say, yo, Zahad sucks ass, bro. This guy, unrunnable, right? Esterosa commandment, he's immediately useless. Right? Like, the thing is, he is really strong, okay? It's really hard for people to, like, play the game themselves, but he's really strong. His whole thing is, you go second, right? You have damage reduction, so you can't really die turn 1, especially if you pair him up with, like, tier or something, right? Literally can't die. On the second turn, he's immortal, and his single target is really strong. Okay, because it ignores crit resistance and crit defense, so it's a guaranteed crit with about like 500% crit damage, which is very strong. Okay, and it will do some insane damage as well every time. It's never failed to impress anyone, I think. Right, so that's really strong, and he can't die on the turn. He's immortal on the turn, right? So you do a single target, use some damage, might even kill someone. It's the enemy's turn. Right now they can't kill you, and if they do happen to lower your HP because they're doing AoEs or something, then on the next turn, based on your missing HP, you get crit damage, you also get 100% crit rate, and your AoE does insane damage. So his AoE on that turn, on the second playing turn, right? So first playing turn, you do single target, and you're mortal. Second playing turn, you do the AoE, it's very strong. One of the strongest AoEs in the game, if not the strongest AoE in the game. And the reason, you know, that sounds all good, right? Like, damn, like, how do you beat this guy, right? One, you need higher skill ranks for him. Wait. That's where it says passive. Oh, it is. The nether here. Yeah. You need higher skill ranks for him. Okay. A rank 1 does 30% extra damage. A rank 2 has 6% extra damage. A rank 3 does 120% extra damage, right? Which is why people run with like Red Gother for fun and stuff. Because so you can get those higher ranks, because the damage he does is like genuinely just insane. The issue is Esterosa commandment, and his thing is a blue buff. That's not the only issue. The issue is that the unknown team right now is not built for this type of like play style. So he doesn't really have anyone to like complement his playstyle. Like tier in theory is focus. Thank you. Tier in theory is really good with him. Okay, because they don't want to kill you, but they lower your they'll lower your HP, right? On like turn 1 you have damage reduction, so you get more attack from tier. The crit resistance lower doesn't matter, but you get more attack from tier, you get more single target damage. The first single target will do a lot of damage, okay? Most will, if you have a rank 2, will probably one-shot practically anyone. Very strong. Okay, that's the idea. But in reality, like any meta team right now, which is a Meli team, demons might struggle, not too sure, but for the most part, they can just one-shot here, and then lower whatever other unit you have. Like let's say you run Red Gother. Red Gother either dies that same turn, or is also very low. Then it's your turn, you don't have tier anymore, you do a single target, you barely don't kill. Now it's their turn, they kill the rest of your team, you can only use one card. Oh boo-hoo, you only have a rank 2, but you rank 2 AoE. And you also, like, all the other people in your team died, like NANASHI died, Gother died, tier died. Now you don't have stats, and now he's by himself, and it doesn't work, right? That's why. The like power is a bit too high. Once Unknown gets more good defensive options, like I haven't run him with Albedo, maybe Albedo genuinely just fixes all his problems. You run like Albedo, Red Gother, and this guy. You give Red Tarmo to Red Gother instead of Albedo, and you'll see how that goes. Right, that could be a thing. But for the most part, he's really insane, but he was born into a game where he doesn't work that well. Okay? So right now, he's like mid, right? Like you can still like people act like he's unrunnable. Like you could go on ungeared, right, champ 5 right now, and then just like win like 30 matches in a row with the, like that setup. Right? It's only like in geared where like damage is just generally higher, and in like really high tier ungeared, if there's like a big disparity between you and the opponent when it comes to like the whale status and your box CC, your constellations, that's when it really matters, right? Like when they have like a really strong Meliodas, like he has all outfits, everything, right? They're maxed out. He has the correct team of all the holy relics and everything, then it's a really big issue. But like for an average player, this guy can still absolutely cook. So it's like people over exaggerate a lot, but he does kind of struggle in today's meta. So that's really unfortunate for him. Okay, really unfortunate for him. But his damage is insane. His AoE is the strongest in the game. I think. Like, I think it's on the same level as like Heaven and Earth Meliodas with like a rank 2 or rank 3 AoE when they have like 2 or 3 Cs. Like, it's really strong. Like, it's really damn strong. Okay, like the damage you can do is insane. It's just unfortunately, a lot of times stuff will get in your way. Okay, but in theory and everything, this character is broken, and the way Unknown gets support from everything, it's like we were asking for fairy support and giant support and human support, and we didn't get it for the longest time. Unknowns will get support, and as soon as they have more defensive options and they have more cancer options, you're probably fine. I think there's also like a point to be made where you use them as like a semi-taunt unit. Like, they have to play around him, the enemies, right? Like if they don't, they lose. And you run like hell and stuff, right? And she has like revives, where like you nerf him sorta because he won't get as much like stats and like benefits from the teammates. But you run a team that can like they can benefit of him being such a like center of attraction type character, you know? So I don't know. I feel like very unexplored characters, like people are trying to force the whole like rank him up, get rank 3 AoE type playstyle. I think there's definitely different avenues you can take him in that will cook. But whatever. Right now I'd have to say, in today's meta, he's very, like, he's mid. Like, he's good. You can use him in PvE, you can use him in PvP. He will, a lot of times, perform very, very well. Sometimes not perform so well, which is fair, I think. But yeah, I wanted, the reason I'm on him for so long is because I really want to make sure that you guys don't turn into those bots that just, you know, that don't play the game, haven't logged in a year and a half, and they just watch, like, 2 videos, and they're like, yeah, this is exactly how it goes. Anyway, or like they mimic someone else's opinion, whatever. Next up, the queen. So she isn't flawless, but she is Nanashi for humans. Okay, she's Nanashi for humans, but she has to be out in the battlefield. She doesn't work backline, obviously, but when she's in the front, she's like practically Nanashi for humans, which sounds insane to say, right? But she essentially gives them like a lot of stuff. Okay, so first of all, 15% basic stats, okay, which is very nice for humans. They don't have many basic stat increases. They have some HP ones, but not very many HP basic stat ones, right? So 50% attack, defense, HP is very nice, unconditionally, right? Very good. And then our Holy Relic also gives 30% crit resistance and crit defense, which is also very good. Also makes the team more defensive, right? Finally, some substats, also very good, right? You pair it up with Green Arthur, gives HP and crit defense based on your debuffs, and in the meta where there's a bunch of debuffs, right, because of bun and stuff running around, very strong. Okay, very strong. You'll be very tanky on the human team, okay? You get 15% HP from her, you get 15% from Ban, right? So 30%, you get 30% extra from Arthur. It's 6% HP with more crit defense, with more crit resistance, with damage reduction. The team finally has something going for it, right? Like I feel like she's the missing puzzle for a very coherent, fun human team. She also has her Rose debuff, right? Every time she hits an enemy or an enemy hits her, it applies a Rose to them, okay? Now this Rose makes them do 10% less damage. Again, this plays into more of the survivability of the team, because by itself 10%, 20% damage, like 30% even damage reduced isn't that crazy, right? Like you've had like 3 stacks of Sunspot from Mel before and still just absolutely annihilated Goddess team, which to be fair, Goddess team sucks ass. But I'm just saying, right? Like, you know, like Mel really doesn't, it's not like world-ending like buff, but debuff. But so it's not that crazy, but the thing is, if you pair it up with the damage reduction that they have as well, and that really high crit defense, it matters, sort of, not really. I'm trying to cope here, but it doesn't really matter, right? Again, we can literally think back to Goddess again. Mile also has damage reduction, the same that the humans have, and they have Tristan with 45% defense rate stats. Obviously, unless they've like already gotten a bunch of buffs, they'll have a lot less HP than you do. But you get the idea. It's not going to be super game changing, but I feel like you do feel on humans a bit more. You also have Bond's attack lore and everything going off. There's a bunch more stuff going on that is like favor towards you taking less damage. Anyway, so we have that, and then once they have 3 roses, if you hit them, they will get all their AoE cards sealed. I thought it was all cards sealed before, but apparently it's just the AoE cards, and which is still really strong. It is a red debuff though, so they will cleanse it. But it does come up. It is very nice. But mainly it's just a damage reduction. It also lasts 4 turns, right? It's very strong. And it's just nice. Her cards, though, unfortunately, right, you have to use her cards. You don't want to use her cards, and that's my issue with her, right? That's why we should use backline, because like her cards suck ass. Like her cards is like, this is an AoE, and a rank 2 it removes buffs. Crazy. It's a rank 1, remove stance on rank 1. Not relevant right now, but I'm sure later on I'll appreciate her having this, right? When we get another stance character. But yeah, I mean, there's not much like I can really like talk about her cards with. They're just whatever. She doesn't do any damage. She's just kind of there, but she's really strong. I think she's the best one. I think if you summon, I do hope you get her too. I think she has by far the biggest longevity, because she works in everything, right? You can use it in all content. Works with humans, obviously, and like she works with this guy, right? She works with the entire human tab. Works in PvE, PvP again. Like, you can use it for everything. She's just good. Okay, people right now are using her in the final boss, which I haven't done in a minute, but let's see. Let's see what people are running right now. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to. The only thing I've been doing on this final boss is using this team, and then just two-turning it. I haven't like played for stats or anything, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Definitely. 8 days, yeah, I got time. Anyway, but people are using her right now, right? Them together, right, for big basic stat increase, right? Okay, Shelter, I hate that guild. Yeah, so literally the exact same team, right? Every time. Very brain dead. Yeah, you have the units, you get the points. You don't. Actually, I swear I just saw a different team. I swear I just saw Naofumi. No, but theirs is a Neri. Interesting. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, this is just a team you run. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, it is what, like the collab is okay. I wouldn't summon. The ban is okay though. So in those 4 multis you do, I do hope you actually get someone, right? Because like these 3 would be W's to pick up anyway. Tyr good, Tristan's good, Freya good, Red Miguelda good, Blue Roxy good, Green Matrona good. For a collab ban, this is insane. Usually it's like coin shop sins and then like green Escanor. There you go. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, that's it for the video, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you out.